In this video, we'll be exploring the life and legacy of Wyatt Earp, one of the most legendary figures of the American West. Earp's story is a fascinating one, filled with action, drama, and controversy, and his influence on American popular culture cannot be overstated. In this video, we'll be examining Earp's early life and career as a lawman, his involvement in the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral, his later life and legacy, and some of the controversies and criticisms surrounding his reputation. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of who Wyatt Earp was, why he remains an enduring symbol of the Old West, and what his legacy can teach us about American history and culture. Wyatt Earp was born on March 19, 1848, in Monmouth, Illinois. He was the fourth of 8 children born to Nicholas and Virginia Earp. His family moved to Pella, Iowa when he was young, and he grew up on a farm there. In 1864, Earp left Iowa and enlisted in the Union Army during the Civil War. He was only 16 years old at the time, and he served as a teamster and wagon master. After the war, he returned to Iowa briefly before moving on to Lamar, Missouri, where he began his career as a lawman. Earp worked as a constable and deputy sheriff in Missouri, and he later moved to Wichita, Kansas, where he worked as a deputy marshal. In 1877, he moved to Dodge City, Kansas, where he was appointed assistant marshal. Earp gained a reputation as a skilled and fearless lawman during this time, and he was known for his quick draw and sharpshooting abilities. In 1879, Earp moved to Tombstone, Arizona, where he worked as a gambler and saloon owner. He also became involved in the cattle industry, working as a lawman and serving as a deputy sheriff. Earp's reputation as a lawman and gunfighter grew during this time, and he became involved in several notable events, including the famous gunfight at the OK Corral. The gunfight at the OK Corral took place on October 26, 1881, in Tombstone, Arizona. The shootout involved a group of lawmen led by Wyatt Earp, his brothers Virgil and Morgan Earp, and their friend Doc Holliday, and a group of outlaws known as the Cowboys. The conflict between the two groups had been building for some time, with tensions fueled by disputes over money, politics, and personal rivalries. On the day of the shootout, the Earp brothers and Holliday confronted several cowboys in a vacant lot near the OK Corral. The two groups exchanged gunfire, and when the dust settled, 3 cowboys were dead and 3 others were wounded. The Earps and Holliday emerged unscathed. The gunfight became an instant sensation and was widely reported in the press at the time. It also became the subject of much myth and legend over the years, with many books, films, and TV shows portraying the Earps and Holliday as heroic figures fighting against lawless outlaws. However, the reality of the gunfight is more complicated than the myth. While the Earps and Holliday were initially hailed as heroes by some, they also faced criticism and legal challenges in the aftermath of the shootout. Some saw the Earps as overly aggressive lawmen who had overstepped their bounds, and the incident further fueled the already contentious political and social climate in Tombstone and the surrounding area. Despite the controversies and criticisms surrounding the incident, the gunfight at the OK Corral has endured as one of the most iconic moments of the Old West, and it remains a fascinating and endlessly debated topic in American history and culture. Following the gunfight at the OK Corral, Wyatt Earp and his brothers faced legal challenges and continued to be involved in various controversies in Arizona and elsewhere. In 1882, Wyatt and his brother Warren were accused of murder in the so-called Earp Vendetta riot, during which they and a group of supporters allegedly sought revenge against those they believed were responsible for the death of their brother Morgan. Despite these challenges, Wyatt Earp continued to live a colorful and adventurous life. He worked as a saloon owner, miner, and gambler in various parts of the West, and he was involved in a number of other legal and political controversies over the years. Earp's legacy has been the subject of much debate and controversy over the years. On the one hand, he is often celebrated as a hero of the Old West, a skilled lawman and gunfighter who embodied the rugged individualism and frontier spirit of the era. On the other hand, his reputation has been challenged by some who see him as a more complex and flawed figure, whose actions were not always in line with the ideals of justice and fairness. Regardless of one's views on Earp's legacy, there is no denying the enduring impact that he has had on American popular culture. Earp has been the subject of countless books, films, TV shows, and other works of art over the years, and his name and legend continue to capture the imagination of people all over the world. Wyatt Earp's legacy is not without its controversies and criticisms. Some historians and scholars have challenged the popular image of Earp as a hero of the Old West, pointing to his involvement in various legal and political controversies over the years. One of the main criticisms leveled against Earp is that he was not always a strict adherent to the law. Some historians have argued that he often used his position as a lawman to further his own interests and that he was willing to bend or break the law when it suited him. Earp was also accused of being involved in a number of shady business dealings and gambling operations over the years. Another criticism of Earp's legacy is that his reputation has been exaggerated and mythologized over the years. Some historians argue that the popular image of Earp as a fearless, gun-slinging hero is based more on legend than reality, and that his actual contributions to law and order in the West have been overstated. Despite these criticisms, there is no denying the impact that Wyatt Earp has had on American popular culture. His name and legend have been celebrated in countless books, films, TV shows, and other works of art, and he remains one of the most iconic figures of the Old West. Whether one sees him as a hero or a flawed and complex figure, there is no denying the enduring fascination and intrigue surrounding the life and legacy of Wyatt Earp. In conclusion, Wyatt Earp was a legendary figure of the Old West whose life and legacy continue to captivate the popular imagination. From his early days as a lawman and gunfighter to his later years as a saloon owner, miner, and gambler, Earp lived a life full of adventure and controversy. While his legacy has been the subject of much debate and criticism over the years, there is no denying the enduring impact that he has had on American popular culture. Whether as a hero or a more complex and flawed figure, Earp remains an iconic symbol of the frontier spirit and the Wild West. As we continue to study and explore the history of the Old West, the legacy of Wyatt Earp is sure to remain an endlessly fascinating and endlessly debated topic, and one that will continue to captivate our imaginations for generations to come.